Ron McCoy here, portraying Rob McCool, a man awash in a sea of fictional characters. He too is a fictional character. His incredible adventures are continuing, and he is the target. Have you ever had the feeling that your boss has a dartboard at home with your picture on it, flinging darts at it? And although I have no specific evidence, I do have a feeling that Judy Hickenlooper had a dartboard with my picture on it, and she flung darts at it regularly. And you may recall that Judy Hickenlooper was talking to Rob McCool about the pickle canning club situation, and she also informed Rob that she had talked to Stella Stump about the situation, and the two of them had come to a decision. Rob, that's during soft start. You have to send your students anytime Stella Stump wants them. She needs them for help in pickle canning club. So yes, you must send your students. Oh, and yes, I made my own dartboard. Moving backward through time approximately 1 year to May 5th, 2023, Rob's mom is still doing well, but something happens on the evening of May 5th to change all that. That evening, Rob's niece, Lena Growl, was staying with Beatrice McCool alone, and Rob went over for a visit, left momentarily to go back to his house, and when he returned, Rob found his mom on the floor with his niece, Lena, hovering over her. Lena and Rob attempted to heft Mom up off the floor, although she did express some slight protestations. The reason why Rob's niece, Lena, was left in charge of supervising his mom is because his sister, Sally Growl, Lena's mom, and Rob's other niece, Sabrina, had gone back to their home in Brown Springs. That's where they used to live. And at the time of this incident, on that Friday night, Sally Growl and Sabrina were out for a leisurely evening stroll. So, upon finding his mom spread-eagled on the floor, Rob made the executive decision to call 911. Simultaneously, Rob's niece, Lena, made the executive decision to call her mom, Sally Growl, in Brown Springs. And upon hearing about Rob's decision to call 911, Sally was not particularly thrilled. Isn't it interesting that Sally sounds just like Rob's mom when she screams? Anyway, the ambulance had arrived and Rob's mom was whisked back to Freedom Hospital. Earlier that day, May 5th, 2023, Rob had faced another day of conflict with his former principal, Stormtrooper, as well as assistant principal, Judy Hickenlooper. And yes, Rob was summoned to the conference room for a meeting right after school that day for something that happened on that Friday, May 5th, but also for something that happened a little over a week before. Earlier that morning, in Rob McCool's classroom, another marker was flung across the room. And, as fate would have it, the marker was thrown to the boy who had thrown the marker back in January. So Rob met in private with the boy who tossed the marker this time, but the boy's reaction to Rob's talk was, well, not as convivial as it could have been. Why am I in trouble? All I did was throw a marker. It's not fair. Other people throw things, but whenever I throw something, I get in trouble. Rob's thinking, sheesh, kid, I know exactly how you feel. So this marker throwing boy refused to fill out a success plan, and Rob talked to him at recess, and he still wouldn't take responsibility for his actions, so Rob restricted what activities this boy could do on the playground. And as the day continued, this boy refused to take responsibility for his actions. Rob kept him in the room during specials time. We were having music that day to confer with him. He still was resolute in his contention that he had done nothing wrong. By lunchtime, Marker Boy was just as stubborn as he had been before. Rob planned to do lunch and a movie with the students. The students would get to go back to class to watch a movie, but Rob decided to let Marker Boy stay in the cafeteria as a consequence for still not admitting that he had done something wrong by throwing the marker. Leaping ahead to 3 p.m. that day, Rob was at the conference room, ready to face his principal at the time, Stormtrooper, and assistant principal, Judy Hickenlooper. And oh, how much Rob McCool loves the Freedom Maples conference room. The litany of wrongdoing by Rob McCool began with Judy Hickenlooper as she said, "You've been bringing your class in from recess ahead of the other classes and leaving some students straggling behind." Rob is thinking, darn those surveillance cameras, and his teammates who seem to want to report everything. Later that evening, as Rob is racing back to Freedom Hospital, where his mom has been taken via ambulance because she fell on her living room floor, he is also reflecting on the meeting that he had with Stormtrooper and Judy Hickenlooper. And Stormtrooper was saying to Rob, "Apparently, I need to update you on what the current discipline practices are. The boy who you sent to the cafeteria while the rest of your class got to do lunch and a movie, well, his mother just happened to be here at school, so I called her into the office and told her what you had done to her son, so she took him home." And Rob is thinking, current discipline practices. Are current discipline practices letting children do whatever they want to do without any consequences? What kind of a world are we living in? And Rob McCool, the parents will be coming in Monday morning at 7:30 a.m. to meet about this situation. Oh, and you are also getting another discipline letter for not supervising football last Thursday on Take Your Child to Work Day like you were supposed to. And as Rob motors through the Freedom Hospital parking lot, heading in to see how his mom is doing, he's also thinking, I am facing another hellish weekend. And what will Rob McCool learn about his mom's latest prognosis? To discover the answer to that dire question, be sure to tune in the next thrilling edition of Rob McCool's Guide to Freedom. And more darts are headed Rob McCool's way, so be sure you zero in on the next pulse-pounding edition.